Know what? Hey, family. Hey, family. This is the Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. This is the Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. This is the Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Hey, look, my topic is school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline. For a lot of y'all that don't know what that is, it's been designed not to properly educate our young men, because they know if you don't properly educate them, they're going to start out young. This is what I'm talking about. It starts off young, not properly educating our young men. They're going to commit crimes that will put them behind bars. I know this is not a popular topic to talk about. Like, why do women hate men and men hate women? Those are popular conversations, because I think they still trying to figure that one out. They still trying to figure out, why do women hate men and men hate women? I don't even think they figured out who they are yet. That's why they still lost. So I can understand it for a man that been married twice. But today, what I put up just now is something else that I was sending out. And it's about educating our youth and young adults. Properly educating our youth and young adults. Let me say that. Right? Starts off real young now. I did not know, or I didn't understand the point of the school to prison pipeline until Giovanni Patterson asked me some years ago, would I come and speak on the school superintendent in Baltimore City not giving our teachers the proper curriculum to better educate our children, mainly our young men. So y'all know, on top of that, school tendency and all of that started dropping, right? So when I came out to speak on it, I asked Giovanni, since the school superintendent is not doing her proper job, who can fire her? He said the board, and then he mentioned Brandon Scott, the mayor. I said, no. I said, they're higher up than that. Because anytime you do not want to see in the Black community, now I'm going to search it to see if this happening in other cultures, community-wise, schools-wise, right? But because of some of the teachers that I talked to as well, they ran it down to me about them not giving our young Black men the popular school curriculum to better educate them. And it starts off young. So now look, because I don't want to get too far past this, because sometimes stuff tend to go really, really to another end. But when I first come on, I like to talk a little bit about certain things, and then we can move into a recovery process or a solution process. I do not like all of that. He saying, she saying, that said, this said. I don't like it. Some of y'all might still enjoy it. I just don't. I get tired of it. For sometimes I just get tired of it. Sometimes I might come in, kid, joke, and play on certain issues, but when it comes to life and when it comes to our children and people, I don't play. Y'all might not care. I do. But I can't blame nobody else. But look, this other prompt right here that I put up is educating our youth and young adults how to avoid the school to prison pipeline, how to avoid it. The first step thing, y'all, the first thing we need to do is keep them in school. Do what you can to keep them in school. Stay in school. Stay in school. Now, I'm saying this, I'm saying it to the youth, but I'm also saying it to the parents. Keeping them in school. We have to help them choose your circle wisely, the people who they hang out with. Set goals and make a plan. That's the third one. Control your emotions. Seek help and be a leader. That's 5. I'm talking about ways and means for us as parents. When you have children that's getting to that point, mainly our young men, that's getting to that point, they don't want to keep pushing themselves or moving themselves forward, education-wise. Then they get to the point where they want to hang more out on the corners with their friends and stuff like that. That's not a real good sign when they round 11, 13, 15, 14, 15. Now you talking about kids being in the 8th, 9th, 10th grade, like I was. I didn't have nobody to encourage me and push me. So eventually, I stopped going to school in the 10th grade. I was determined I wasn't going to let my children, just end up giving up like that, because I gave up. I'm going to slide this background up, because I'm telling y'all, if you have children, parents, mainly the boys, because sometimes the boys want to seem a little bit harder to learn. You get me? And they get disappointed and they will back down. That's why most of the young men, you got to stay on. Now, what I am going to do, because I'm going to switch to the other one as well, right? I want to read this again. Let me look at my time frame. Because the first one, right, it says stay in school. All right, parents, teaching our kids, stay in school. Education is your ticket. Number 2, choose your circle wisely. Hey, Valerie, choose your circle wisely, right? Surround yourself with positivity. Set goals and make a plan. That's number 3. Know where you're going. I was just sharing this on my live, on my other 5-minute skit. You start asking your children earlier, like what they want to be when they grow up in life. 4, control your emotions. Think before you react. Number 5, seek help and be a leader. You have a voice. Use it to inspire. And these are things as parents now that we can use to encourage, empower, and motivate our youth. I wanted to talk about this because this kind of, it stayed with me, right? Because of the post-traumatic slavery syndrome and how it's designed. It's designed. It's designed for us to fail. It's designed for us to fail our children. If your life is not in order. Now, this was the first one that I sent back out, right? I ain't put that one up. But look, this was the first one that I put out. But this was a newer one. I did another one, but I was sending it all over as well. This one right here, right? The school to prison pipeline. 5 steps to prevent this from happening in today's society. Five steps to prevent. I'm looking at us as parents when it comes to our children. Do we really know how to raise them right, properly? Do we really know how to encourage them and motivate them and pull them in the right direction? Well, encourage them and motivate them, inspire them. Do we? I'm asking a question. You got to ask yourself that. I'm just saying it. Do we? Right? Look, now, 5 steps to prevent this from happening in today's society. Today. The first with this one, right, it talks about building strong foundations. Create safe and nurturing environments. Teach life, not lessons. Reform, not remove. Open doors, don't close them. And you know, well, mine's are grown and I'm in granddaddy mode, right? But still, just learning and reading these like 5 steps to help you kind of guide you a little bit forward. It is still helpful. It's helpful, even though I'm in granddaddy mode. Look at what I was just reading, right? Where it talks about like building strong foundations. Invest in early childhood education, mentorship, and family support. Building strong foundations. Over here, number 2, where it talks about create safe and nurturing environment. Schools should be places of healing, not harm. Trust and belonging. I just thought about that. If your child is not happy in school, y'all know they ain't gonna want to stay there, right? They ain't gonna want to stay where they don't feel safe and happy. Parents, please, 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 please pay attention to what I'm saying. Because y'all know when I talk about the Be More's Real Teen Talk Show, and I talk about giving our youth a voice, the parents are actually the voice. I mean, a solution to whatever our children's issues are. It's the parents that have to get them the proper help to help them move forward. Right? So that's why I'm going back over this stuff, family, because I'm just looking at how things are designed mainly for your marginalized communities, your poor communities, not to succeed in life. How they create stuff. They will create, and I'm talking about our lawmakers, they will create stuff to help you to grow and be successful, laws-wise. But you the one got to work them. You the one that's got to do the work. I'm talking about us. Rather it's laws to help you prosper, or rather it's laws to just keep you down. You are the ones that have to be obedient. The ones that want to keep you down, you got to find ways and means to work extra harder, right? So look at the topic. If my head in the way, let me know so I can slide this little prompt up. But I'm reading off another one. Say teach life, not just life lessons, not just lessons. But I wanted to throw life in there. It said teach life, not just lessons. Integrate emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and real life skills. You know what? Just reading that right there helps me understand just the work that it takes in being a parent. Y'all understand that? Just the work that it takes in being a parent. It says teach life lesson, not just teach life, not just lessons. I'm sorry if I kind of twisted a little bit. Teach life, not just lessons. Integrate emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and real life skills. What did I say about the couch conversation? Real conversation, real life stories. Why do we avoid real life stories, real life conversations that could help us get better towards our mental state, emotional state, mental condition? Mental, emotional, and spiritual condition. Why do we run from it? This is making me think, I'm telling you. But look, that's number 3, family. Reform, right? This is 4. Because I always ask for a 5-step phase, right? This say reform, not remove. Replace suspensions with support. Restorative justice over punishment. The school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline. So basically what it's saying, it starts off young. For our young generation to become criminals. That's why you have the juvenile system. That's why you have it fixed in some areas, right? Because of their behaviors. They'll bring them in, but they can't keep them because of the age. But now keep in mind too, that's why they have places like Charles Hickey, these schools for young age children. But do y'all realize it's more expensive to take care of them than it is your regular prisoners? Because they're younger. I think what I was reading up on it is like $700 a day per child. Compared to, did it say something like $40, $50 a day for an adult? Open doors. This is basically number 5. It say open doors, don't close them. Provide access. to opportunities, resources, and second chances. That's one of the reasons, too, family, why I created the BMore's Real Teen Talk Show. That's why when y'all hear me talk about like Uncle T, right? And I'm gonna share this with y'all why I'm on this subject. Okay. Okay. So I am gonna say this. I had to go to the doctors today. I had to go see my primary care doctor. She took me off my insulin. She told me I still don't need it, but my sugar been running high, right? For the little bit that I've been eating. And only because the Ozympia, and all of that type of medication that they give you, Ozympia, you're diabetic, it helps the pancreas, I believe, what it's called. But they got other stuff too. She's putting me on this little pill thing now. Because the only reason why it's starting to run like that, because I'm not taking, I don't need the insulin and stuff. She told me, you don't need it. It's just that I take the metformin, which helps fight. And I think I'm at my limit with the metformin. So she's giving me something else to help the metformin fight, help the kidneys and the liver, stuff like that, right? I said, okay. But other than that, my A1C is still good. It's just my body is going into overload trying to fight whatever stuff I put on it itself. Because it's so used to is running high. But look, this what I want to, I was looking up some information, right, in this process, and I'm saying this to whomever might look at this video. Let me look at my time. The only reason why I said let me look at my time, family, because this is what it was a suggestion for me to do when I talk about, mainly when it comes to the youth, or when it comes to, in Baltimore City, letting people know where programs at to get the proper resources that they need. So I'm looking at my time frame, right? So that way I can, when I make my small clip, I can send it back over. But now, Uncle T, right? Uncle T program is called Challenge to Change. The phone number with Uncle T, right? And let me do it again, because I'm looking at Van Brooks as well. And I just want to make sure I give y'all the right number. I'm going to give you the right number. Okay? I don't want y'all to call the wrong person. So now look, I'm only saying this, family, because I watch Uncle T work with our young men and women. And him and his wife, and they've been doing an excellent job, family. All right, Uncle T, Challenge to Change, Inc. The phone number is 443-509-9357. 443-509-9357. An alternative number, 443-979-5073. 443-979-5073. And the address is 2312 East Monument Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 0212005. And I'm going to make a small clip of that, family, to send back over. But now, I watch what Uncle T and I'm doing with the youth. I'm looking at the young children, that's young adults, because they are young adults, you get me? Teens and stuff. And I'm looking at what Uncle T and them do, family, and I can only speak for Baltimore City. I ask a lot of y'all. I'm in Baltimore City. If you in DC, you in LA, if you in, well, I'm trying to go down the line. You in DC, you in Delaware, you in Philly, you in Jersey, you in New York, stuff like that, right? Chicago, come up here. Talk about the area you are in. If you are a community activist, if you have a nonprofit, well, community work-wise, if you are a therapist, if you are a counselor, and you are looking for clients, you are very welcome to come on the Couch Talk Show. Help people understand what part of the United States you are in, what you are doing in your community to help build a better community and help embrace and encourage and motivate the citizens. Baltimore City has been doing a great job. I love the work that us are doing. I love the work that Uncle T is doing. Baltimore's Peace Movement, Lisa Moloch, Hugs, Don't Pew Pew, Umar Boxing. See, I can only speak for Baltimore City. But I'm looking at this right here too, family, just what I'm saying, right? About our children. Finding ways and means to prevent the prison, the school to prison pipeline system. You know what? This just came to mind too, family. I used to hear people talk about how the school bus, the prison bus, the school cafeterias, the prison cafeterias, how they so similar. I never really paid attention to it. Matter of fact, the reason why I never really paid attention to it because I never was in prison like that until 3 years ago. And I had a chance to see exactly what they was talking about. Because I didn't at first. So wait a minute, give me a few seconds, right? Because I want to type this again. I made a mistake and typed a message to send over to my live streams, right? And I ended up sending it too fast, and it didn't go to all the other platforms because it really don't supposed to go out. Ooh, it really not supposed to go out until I'm streaming, right? Actually, once I'm streaming, then once I push it out, it'll go to the live stream. See, you can tell I screwed it up and say you'll be able to comment, please. I gotta send it again. The B-more Teen Talk Show. B-more Teen Talk. I don't understand a lot of y'all. Do y'all know this is a beautiful feeling to be able to use your voice in this sense and not to like try to advertise too much chaos and confusion. I love it. I don't know about y'all. I love it. Talk about Big Steve all you want. The B-more is real Teen Talk Show. Okay. I'm trying to get my words back. Wait a minute. I'm going to put real conversation. No. Because I'm talking about the prison. Empowering. I'm going to put empowering, inspiring. I love saying these words. Inspiring and motivating our youth and young adults. Come on. I know youth and young adults. And then I'm going to put in avoiding, avoiding, come on. I'm so old with this. Avoiding the school to prison pipeline. Okay. This is a conversation for grown folks, but it's encouragement for a lot of our youth. It's going out now. The Couch Conversation Show, empowering and inspiring and motivating our youth and young adults and avoiding the school to prison pipeline. What y'all think? Huh? What y'all think? Because I had, when I sent it out the first time, I just want to make sure it went to the other platforms like it's supposed to. Yeah. I made a mistake and hit the send before I was able to hit the go live. So, my arm hurt. I don't know why my goddamn arm hurt. But this basically this what I wanted to talk about, family. And see, like I said, it's a lot of platforms out here, right? That talks about grown folks. But you don't hear a lot of them when it comes to our youth. Oh, I'm sorry, I got, I don't know why this arm hurt me. I just want us, right, to focus more on mainly if you're a parent and you have children. And if you're unhealthy, you ain't no good for your goddamn children. Keep that in mind. Stop trying to lie to yourself. If you're not healthy mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you're going to pour it on your children. And what happens with a lot of us too, we have a tendency of making people lives around us miserable as heck too. But if you can't see it, because you close minded, right? You don't realize how sick you are and how you spreading it amongst people that really love and care for you. And then they get to the point they have to back up off you. Now, I like what they've been saying about the Pisces lately, right? Right? I am a no nonsense guy. I was always like that, even when I was in the streets. But I had to turn it around now towards something healthier. And I believe that's why God had me to become an ordained deacon. I believe that's why God had me to become mainly a recovering addict, because I'm only giving back what was given to me, helping people to grow. working with people to help change their lives around, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I can only feed y'all more in a healthier way because this is the way it was shown to me. I can even come biblical. But what happens with the Bible, right, family? You understand what the word is saying. You understand what God is saying, no matter what your religion may be. And the reason why I say whatever your religion may be, because whatever you are studying religiously to become a better human being, like if you are a Muslim, if you are a Israelite, if you are a more Samaritan, stuff like that, right? If you're into that type of stuff, that's not everybody. Everybody, that's not how God reach everybody. He reaches that group of people in their own special way. When I say I am a Christian, watch how I say it again. When I say I am a Christian, I'm talking about emulating Christ's humility. Y'all think I'm talking about the religion. No. When I say I am a Christian, a follower, a lover of Jesus Christ, I'm talking about my character. Look where my hand at. I'm talking about my personality. Didn't Christ get angry and flip the table over? It showed me he was human. So the reason why I kind of went there, right? Watch how I do it. Because I had to start studying to show thyself approved. I had to get to know Steve. So listen to what I'm saying. I'm not lost like I once was when I was caught up in that life. I'm not blind. You get it? So now, guess what? Because I used to live a certain way of life and I got some healthy information to put on that stuff, I didn't realize how enslaved I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I didn't understand how it was designed. And I can only speak for the Black race, culture. And if you YT and you want to come up, if you Hispanic and you want to come up because you know what I'm saying, because you understand what your people are going through, come up. So when you hear me talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome, understanding when Dr. Joyce went into this, she's looking at the generation after generation after generation dealing with chattel slavery. I don't want to say channel because I know it's not channel. A lot of what I'm saying, family, I did not know. That's why I went back to biblical. I did not know a lot of this stuff was designed way, well over 6,000 years ago. I sent AI something, right? About, I got to watch my language for TikTok because TikTok flagged me at one point. When I read the part, watch where I go, because a lot of this comes from scripture, fam. The laws of the land that's designed to keep the people down. I don't want to lose you. I'm taking you from where God opened up my heart and my mind and started showing me. The same way, watch this, because I want to make sure I keep them tied in together for you to really understand what I'm saying. The same way, when God told Moses, go tell Pharaoh that I said, let my people go. Now, mind you, Pharaoh, king, loyalty, thought it was all about him. His goal was to enslave and oppress the people. When I say enslave and oppress, depress, suppress, keep them under control. It's designed. It's designed. But we got to understand where it comes from. You get it? So now God taking me back, family. I did not understand a lot about the school to prison pipeline. God taking me back the same way. And I looked it up the other day. I had put it in AI. And I forgot the exact words AI said for the comparison. When God told Moses, go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. The same way, what was his charge to the midwives? Now, mind you, I did not understand this. What did he tell the midwives? And I think it was only 2 that they mentioned. And mentioned in Bible. All the firstborn males, what? Except for the girls. Y'all already know this. Now watch where I go. In order for a woman to have a baby, she need what? So the goal is to start eliminating that population. The males. The call was made back then. You catching it? I didn't understand it, Phyllis, until actually I went to prison. And when I started reading once again, from Genesis all the way back up to Revelations, I used to get up every morning and go read. Man, I'm taking y'all into a whole area that I know y'all ain't gonna understand. The same stuff that's happening today amongst our young men. The call was back then. Because it takes that male to be with that female. Martha 21, Black genocide. That's why I say when I open up my mouth to talk about stuff, I basically have to know what I'm talking about, where it's coming from. So we talking about a system that's been put into place. So it goes back, and I can go to the beginning. Well, it was Exodus when God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh. Exodus. Do y'all know what Exodus is? It means to exit. It means to exit. So whatever position, wherever you at mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, it means to exit, to break free. It was Exodus. The same way, like I'm saying, the calling came for me. I want you to go and you tell your lawmakers, the corrupt ones now, if they doing all the right things accordingly towards the people, those aren't the ones he talking about. But guess what? They got a job to do too. I'm talking about the ones that's doing the corruption. The ones that set back, that set up the system. Just like y'all buddy, Jim Crow. Come on, family. Can y'all understand why I have to stay on top of things? And this is not always pleasant. This is not a very polite walk. So now, the school to prison pipeline, the school to prison pipeline. If you do not properly educate our young men, and they feel as though they will never accomplish nothing out of life, they're going to stay in that mode of selfless, self-worth, being about anything, nothing. That's what I'm trying to get to. Feeling like they'll never accomplish nothing in life. So why in the freak should I work hard to move forward? Keep them trapped. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I was just listening to some grown-ups before I came on here, family, and I started to go over there. I don't know what world a lot of y'all are living in over here on TikTok. Now, I am an older man. I'm 64. I'm 15 years older than my second wife, ex-wife. They was talking about younger women dating or men dating younger women. But see, y'all have a tendency, and this is the thing that got me, family, and I'm going to get back. Cardi B is a human being. I'm trying to think of some of these professional actors, songwriters, people that y'all putting in places they shouldn't be. And then check it out. If you have a basketball player who married a white woman, to him, that's probably no different than marrying a black woman. It's a woman. The only reason why I could say that, right? Well, I'm only saying it. I ain't dead though, but I'm just saying it. I want to make sure she's black. She can be light-skinned too. What y'all gonna say something about that? She real close to white. You must really like white people. Yeah, I do. My daughter-in-law is white. I was gonna say my son's girlfriend. I have nieces and nephews that's white. The freak I'm gonna look like downgrading white people if I deal with white people. Do y'all realize the stuff we say out our mouth sometimes? You fellowship with them, you go to dinner with them, you work with them, but then you'll come on the platform. That's a hypocrite. Do you think I would ever want my nephew who carries Uncle Steve's middle name? My middle name is Lavelle. His first name is Lavelle. I was honored my son gave his son my name. No, no, no. Let me back up. Let me back up. I was honored my nephew. Did I say that? I was honored that my nephew gave his son my first name. That goes to show you what he thought of Uncle Steve. To name his son after Uncle Steve. And he's biracial. One of the most handsome Copelands you ever want to meet, next to his big uncle. Matter of fact, I was going to say that looked like him over there with the little black hair right there. And a picture of his sister too. You know, I'm so proud of them. My goal is I want them to love themselves for who they are. You get me, family? Now, let me get back to this. I date younger females. If you ever want to question a person or ask something, you can ask Big Unc. Okay? If you want to know anything, you can ask Big Unc. You might not like desire certain things that Unc do. Just ask Unc why he desire. Ooh, the beautiful body. You don't want me to go there? You don't want me to go there? But guess what? When I say that, keep in mind, I'm not talking underage. I'm 64. So be honest with you, if I look at a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, they're going to still be young to me. I'm 64. But now it's the physical. The hell wrong with y'all? It's normally the attraction. That's why I be like, what the freak is they talking about? Now when I was younger, you meet somebody, they just turned you on. But now, as you begin to get a little bit older, you know what you kind of like there. You're going to kind of, go after what you like. That's why I said if y'all ever want to know something, ask a person that's really into it. And women, if you 45, you 40, and if a man look at a 25-year-old and her body looks like yours, she's grown. She might not be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually there in a sense. That's not what we worried about. That's why when I was listening to y'all, I said, y'all are missing it. One, they act more mature than what they really are. We know they're not. Know how I can say that? Because I started realizing it myself, dating younger women, younger females. I ain't talking about under 18, okay? But look, I realized they act mature. It's just the act that they put on, even though they're not. And anything else, I was just getting ready to say it. I did not share nothing hateful TikTok. Stop. I did not share nothing hateful. I was just getting ready to say that. I gotta watch what I say for TikTok because they will restrict me. It's probably because I'm getting loud and I'm too close. I did not say nothing about hate TikTok. So your algorithm, whatever you did to put that there, you might as well move it. I was just getting ready to say that. I already know certain things I can't say when it comes to, But I know it was the system that did that. That's why AI told me when I started getting real loud, back up, because it'll throw certain things out. But now look, no TikTok. Nobody talking about hating nobody. But look, That's why I say I gotta watch it for TikTok's sake. But now, being an older gentleman and I'm older now. When I say older, 64. So yes, I understand now that if I date somebody around 50, like my ex-wife, even though she's grown, that's still like young. Because when I met her, she was 21. I was going on 36. And I was thinking about this family. My daughter asked me one day, my 23-year, well, she's 25 now. My daughter asked, she said, Dad, how would you feel if I talked to an older guy? I said, I wouldn't have a problem with that. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm the type of man that believes in taking care of women. You want me to say it again? I'm the type of man that believes in taking care of women. That's how Barbara Jean raised me. But now, this is what I told my daughter, Gregory. I've been in my daughter's life. All of them. Changing Pampers, wiping butt, the baths and strollers and all that. So my thing is, they're not looking for a daddy image. You get me? Steph, you get me? You get me, third? They're not looking for a daddy. See, I already knew, for me, most of the ones I chased behind didn't have a healthy relationship with their dad. So it was a certain role I know I could play, and I got it. All right, now. Know the game. So now when my daughter said that, and I told her, I said, I wouldn't have no problem with that. But the good part about it, Phyllis, I always been a part of their lives. So I don't see them messing with nobody that will remind them of their father. You get it? And that's what I begin to understand, family. When you have children, when you get involved in your children's lives. Now that was just because I was just sharing something about what I heard, Phyllis, before I came on here. And I don't know where people here's be at, man. I don't get y'all. That's all you got to do is look at yourself. Understand your likes and your dislikes in life. But you don't have to compare it with somebody else. But keep in mind, too, I was looking at Cardi B the other day. Y'all know she used to do the pole thing, right? Even though she's rapping and doing what she's doing, she's still human. I watched her jump straight into a fight the other day, looking gorgeous as all outdoors. But still ratchet is all outdoors. But y'all will take people and you will put them on pedestals where they human. And then I'm glad I didn't go over there because I had to come on here with this, so my mind had to focus back on the school to prison pipeline, right? I'm like, what is wrong with us? Just because the people is famous, popular, we think they don't go through stuff. And then if you're making millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, if you're making, let me do it again, millions and millions, or if you're worth millions, 25,000 and stuff like that a month in child support ain't nothing. But it is to a person that don't make money like that. It's nothing. Long as you can take care of your children, take care of your expenses, it's nothing to somebody that makes millions. Y'all the one blow stuff way out of proportion. I was listening to that, and I wanted to go over there so bad. I said, nope, because by this time it was 6 o'clock. I said, I'm going, no. Because I wanted to ask them, where the hell y'all come from? A lot of people, I don't look. I've been married twice. Each one of my wives, we was like boyfriend, girlfriend. We was in a committed relationship with children, and then I asked them to marry me. Because I felt like if we living as husband and wives. But now, I'm going to try to bring it back some, because I'm looking at my time, so when I chop this up, it's just lessons, family. It's just lessons learned. Just keep in mind, it's just life lessons. That's why I say real conversation, right? Real conversations, real life stories. Because that's all we had. And with somebody like Big On, I stopped sharing about what I think, how I feel, and all of that. I stopped doing that years and years and years ago. Well, I think you this, I think you that. I stopped doing that to people. Because what I start understanding, family, in the process of what I'm saying, that people have to make mistakes to learn from their mistakes. So if you falling in certain areas of your life, the whole goal is to just encourage you and motivate you to actually stand up and keep moving, because you got to learn from it. It's not no skipping and skipping the hopscotch. Y'all know I'm old. That's why I be real. That's why I look. And I'm going to go back. But bear with me. Bear with me. Because it's all in conversation, right? Bear with me. Right? Look. Wait a minute. I want to do this. Why I got y'all right there, family. I want to do this out. I want to switch this one back out. Because this was one that I had to make for me to send across. But give me a sec. Let me make sure. Family. No, not this one, not that one. Let me go back. That was the one. That was one of them. But I don't want the story behind it. Where you at? I think it's right here. The 12-step spiritual journey. That's not the one. Stop playing. Where you at? Okay, that's for me and the children. And is this the same? No, that's the one that got the story up top. I'm trying to find the one without the story up top. Family. Yeah, I think this is it right here. Okay. This is the one that I had created to send over. And I just switched it up with the other one because I had asked Chat GBT to give me two of them. And it's the school to prison pipeline thing. And it's another one. Yeah, and I just asked them to switch it up. Yeah. Wait a minute. All right, that was the first one actually. Ooh, sorry. That was the first one, family, that I actually made. This one right here to send over. All right, that was the first one. So I hope y'all can see it. I tried to get my big head out the way so y'all can see it. All right, got it. I gotta read this up too, because I got this ticker from TikTok. This tap. So y'all better give me my credit. I ain't playing. But now, okay. I just wanted to I want to get my head out the way some so people pop in, they can kind of read it. That was interesting. Because I didn't know the school to prison pipeline. The school. Now, just in case some people don't understand why I go in one area, right? And y'all might see me move to another area. Keep in mind, I'm a community activist, right? And the reason why I'm saying it, because I do a lot of community work. And I started the Strengthen the Community, right, to help people understand if I say strengthen the community, and if you understand somebody who's trying to help build back up in their own community, that's all I'm saying. So, boy, I'm gonna hurt you. This is so crazy is all I'm doing. He sent me a message, right? I was just reading this message. But look, and this is what I love too, family. Now my son kind of threw me back to the school to prison pipeline. And that was one of the main things too, family, because I came out, keep in mind, I came out of school in the 10th grade. Okay. And that that didn't mean that I didn't understand schoolwork and stuff like that. I was good at doing all that. That wasn't the problem. It was just that I didn't have nobody positive to encourage me and motivate me in continuing on. You know, my mother was doing what she was doing to maintain the household. My brothers and them running around doing what they do. So I'm the one that made the decision to stop going to school in the 10th grade. At 36 years old, family, I did sign back up to go get my GED. And be honest with y'all, I was 2 points away. I think it's supposed to be like 225 at that time. Mind y'all, that was years ago. Whew, that was a long time ago. But look, I was about 36. I was 2 points away from actually getting my GED after I took the test. But you know what? I felt good about it because I did go back to work on getting it, even though I didn't get it. But now understand, I'm in trucking now. I'm making really, really, really good money. The reason why I'm saying this to family, keep in mind, when y'all hear me talk about, and I'm gonna say most of our uneducated men or the men that don't want to finish school, right? When y'all hear me talk about that, some people get into career minded programs, right? They might want to get into bricklaying. They might want to get into electricity. They might want to get into HVAC because some of them will start out making real, real good money working for somebody else. Then they get to the point they start their own. That's what happens when you are in a professional type career. You know, y'all understand where I'm going at because I'm trying to keep the words there for you. Now, um, this is where I look at when it comes to guys that don't have a high school diploma, that don't have a high school diploma. When I talk with our young men, I ask them, Mainly they on the corner. Keep in mind they on the corner. They on the corners and they hustling. 9 times out of 10, y'all know what can happen in that. 2 things in life that happens anyway. Either they're gonna get taken out or they're gonna end up over prison. Which one you want? Which one you want? So I'm just saying this, family, because when I'm talking with our younger men, is to help them understand whatever your dreams may be, is to become a plumber, is to become a bricklayer, is to become, a, a barber, is to get you in those programs. This is how I had to approach our young men to get them out of that heading towards prison lifestyle. Not just our young men, but the older ones too. This is how I try to work with our brothers, our men, our kings. Because I know the way the system is designed is not for you to be successful. They'd rather have you on that big old plantation. So I have to talk to them, family, to find out what visions, what passion do you have? Like if you can get away from this right here, the hustling. I was once there. See, I know you can come out of that life and be successful, so I have to go and share that with them. I was once there. I was doing the same thing. No, I had to package out. I ain't hang out on the corners like that. But I have to share it with them to let them know. I know where you at, and I know how you feel, and I know how you can come up out of it. I can't preach to them. You got to be in it. Then you have to share something with them so that they can relate and really understand where you're coming from. Wow, you used to be like this too? Yeah. In order for you to help them move to that next level. Wait a minute, family. I was sending my son some money. That's why I said, wait a minute. But look, this is how I have to work with our young men. And it's not just the young men, family. If it comes to the women with children, all that. But for the most part, just for today, I'm talking about the school to prison pipeline. I'm talking about how the system, this part of how the system, how things has been set up for our young Black men to fail. I have to watch it for TikTok's sake, family. Because a lot of this I did not understand at first. I mentioned something about melanated genocide. BLK genocide. Somebody said it ain't a such thing. Oh yeah? What they out there doing to each other. With our BLK men are out there taking each other down, unaliving each other, pew-pewing each other. What is that called? What is that? Somebody said that one day. I said black on black, pew-pew. I mean unaliving. Black on black, unaliving. Somebody said there's no such thing. I said, what is they doing then? Taking each other down right in front of your eyes, and you can't even see it. I was like that too. So what do we do, Mr. Copeland? We create programs. Number one, to slow it down, the school to prison pipeline. You have to teach our young men self-respect for the most part, self-awareness, integrity. Starts out young. Mothers and dad, if you have a tendency of mentally, emotionally, and verbally abusing your sons, do your best to slow it down. If you mad because your son is his dad's twin, don't beat him mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, verbally, because you mad at dad and he looks like him. Because you're tearing his self-esteem apart. Okay? If you got a son that tends to cry a lot, where a lot of women might think that's kind of like a tendency, little girl. I'm trying to watch my words for TikTok's sake. And you want to tell your male son, because he's a compassionate, young, warm, sensitive person, oh, you this, oh, you that. Please stop. And I have to watch it for TikTok. If it wasn't for me recording the TikTok too, I will call it out. And dads, don't do it either. Because what you're doing, you're preparing them for failure. Because you turn down their self-esteem. And then you wonder why their behaviors are destructive. Now I'm coming to you from a parent myself. I'm coming at you from a person that did foster care. I'm coming at you from a man that mentored young men. I'm coming to you from a man that used to have a prison commitment back in the 90s over the Wide building in Baltimore City, where I used to go over there and encourage and empower the men to come home and how to be more productive. They have to change their mindset. Starts with the brain. You must change your old ways of thinking and acting and behaving, mainly if you're doing it in a destructive way. I had to. And put more healthy, positive stuff on it. Like where I used to love lying, manipulating, cheating, I had to start being honest. You see how I started over there, right? What the heck is being honest? Huh? You get more fun out of lying, manipulating, and playing games. I ain't know I could be honest with myself. It wasn't about y'all. It was being honest with me. To thy own self be true. I had to learn to gain some faith back in me. I put too much faith and trust on outside stuff, materialistic things. I had to learn to have faith and confidence back in myself. I had to learn to trust and believe back in me. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because y'all know I get goofy sometimes. Yeah. But look, I had to learn to be real with Steve. It wasn't nobody else because I was too busy trying to please the flesh, the outside. And whatever I thought might have turned you on, and you might have like, yeah, Steve this, Steve that. Accolades, right? And if I'm not careful today, I still want them. But then I got to realize who I serve, Phyllis. I serve a mighty God. And because I serve a mighty God, and keep in mind, y'all, for everything I done back in the days, I've never spent time behind bars. Back then they had the little station that you would go to, they hold you a couple of hours, then they let you go. But now, it took me to get 61 years old. And some people came up with some fake charges. So I know that's a whole different ball game. But keep in mind, like I said earlier, family, and I pray I didn't lose nobody. But in the midst of this topic, the school to prison pipeline, and the reason why oh God, I just thought about it. Because I had quoted something from Bible, right? And to TikTok, it wasn't accurate to them. I said, well, y'all don't read scripture because it's dead. But anyway, I forgot I'm talking to a machine. But anyway, what that did, that showed me how a lot of the stuff that's happening today, it ain't new. It ain't new. So when you're looking at people of stature, when I say that, I'm talking about like your rulers, your kings, your politicians, because they're lawmakers, they create laws, and things like that, and it dawned on me as a community journalist, organizer, all them little titles, y'all, they just titles, family. It dawned on me that our lawmakers, that's all they do is create laws. We are the ones that has to learn to be obedient to the laws that they create. You get it? Excuse me, you get it? We are the ones that has to learn to be obedient to the laws that they create. If not, yes, you break the laws. That's why the old statement, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. So if they create laws for you not to act, for you to act a certain way in life, to be successful in life, then you have to. But what I realized in my journey, they create laws, but they don't create solutions to the laws. But they will pay outside resources to come up with solutions towards the laws that they create. Did y'all know that? So we giving people credit. When we vote somebody in as a politician, they representing the people, us. It's us that has to show them how much we appreciate it by doing the necessary work with the solutions to it. Now y'all understand why I started being nice, Phyllis, to our local politicians. Now can y'all understand? Know why? Because we come up with the solutions. We come up with the ways and the means to help the people to be successful in life. If you know certain laws is going to condemn them, then you help people to live according to the law so they won't get condemned as far as prison wise. So really, it helps me to understand everything that I speak out on. Like if somebody called me and said, Steve, well, let me do this, family. In Baltimore City, I was one of the ones that spoke out on the $15 minimum wage. And we got their bill passed. We fought for consumption sites to reduce the F&E epidemic. I think I can use that word for TikTok, F&E, right? Epidemic. They created Safe Streets. And for a lot of y'all that might not know and understand, Safe Streets was created to reduce the pew violence. On my stream here is the gun violence, family. That's why they was created. But then you got a bunch of people that came home from prison with the same mindset. The reason why I can say that because I have 33 years out of that game. And my journey became spiritual. So if you don't change your old ways of thinking and habits and all of that, you will start repeating them. So when you have certain people in Safe Streets that we find out that practice certain behaviors because they haven't changed this. This take time. It's not something that happens overnight. That's why when y'all hear me say, I had to change my old ways of thinking. That's what they taught me. Or you're going to go back to, they said using. I was scared because I did not want to go back to doing that. But now, not only that, in recovery, maybe about a year, I think. It was a while. But anyway, I still thought about hustling, going to church, going to meetings, talking that Gucci game. You know what I mean? Putting the package out. Because that's where my mind was at until I started doing work on Steve and changing those old ways of thinking. And not only that, I had to talk about it. I had to tell people where my mind was at. Because if I would have kept thinking about it and contemplating, I would eventually start acting out on it. So I understand when you have ex-offenders, when you have criminals that's coming home, but they still filled with that street mentality. It's an addictive personality. You got to break it. So somebody like myself with 33 years clean, I understand sometimes when we still be caught up in that old behavior. We mean well, but we still running off of unhealthy information. All right, Baltimore City. See, I'm a recovering addict. I never went to prison like that, but I used to go into the prisons in the wide building every Friday night, 7 o'clock for almost 10 years. Then I would go into a halfway house on Sundays because the goal was to empower and encourage and motivate our men. When you come home, you got to do something different once you back out on the streets. That's why you have repeated offenders. So basically everything I'm saying, family, look at this right here because it falls under that line. The school to prison pipeline. It's designed. And then keep in mind too, I was 14 when I discovered, the sprinkle. The sprinkle. fondling myself. Catch what I'm saying, fam, because I'm on TikTok, so you know I gotta watch my words, right? I was 14. So now, I don't know, they might be starting 12, 13, you know. So now the reason why I'm saying that, because when they're young like that, they at the point they can make babies. And then they with the I'm starting to stutter. And they with the and if they round 13, 14, I don't know, 12 kind of scare me. If they that daggone young, what? But I'm just saying, right? Because I know time has changed biologically. Is that the word to use? Politically. So they starting out young. But it takes the two. So the goal is to wipe out. And I gotta watch it for TikTok family. As much of the black males as they can. And Giovanni, I just want to say thanks, bro. Because Giovanni was the one that reached out to me and asked me to come and speak out against the school superintendent not giving our teachers the proper curriculum to better educate our young men. And I found out, family, starts off real young. Really young. Now, when I was in school, from kindergarten up, that's what I'm looking at. Y'all know they taught us our history. They taught us a lot. We had math, English, social studies, and science. That was the four major subjects. Math, English, social studies, and science. So you know you had biological classes as well, where you learned about your body and stuff like that. Now people getting to the point they don't want teachers to teach the children. But guess what? A lot of the parents are not educating their children either about the changes that their bodies are going through. Then you got the young men. When I first discovered myself at 14 years old, I said, I ain't telling nobody this ancient Chinese secret. That felt good. And every night before I went to sleep, I did it. That itself became an addiction. Parents. Now I'm talking about the boys. I can't speak for the young girls. Are they touching certain things? See, we don't like to talk like this. Even TikTok, if I'm not careful, will restrict it. Steve, you're going too far. Let the parents better educate the kids. A lot of parents, TikTok can't educate the kids because they were never educated. Parent, TikTok. Just before I got the word out, I got to watch what I say because TikTok will restrict me. They said something talking about, I said, y'all need to cut that out. But once they go back over it, they'll leave it alone. Because I try my best to follow the community guidelines. But when I'm on my stuff by myself, right, just on my live stream, StreamYard, I can talk TikToker. I know I can't say certain things over here. That's why I say for TikTok's sake. But the good part about what I do, I'm not just streaming in America. I'm streaming all over the world. And y'all know that TikTok. Because I get people from all different places be responding and coming in from TikTok or whatever. My YouTube, now and then somebody might, comment to what I say. Twitch, it's a lot of young people on Twitch that does lives, but it's a lot of they more like, teenagers. And then they gamers. A lot of them are gamers. But now, I haven't seen it a lot on TikTok. And see, because I'm speaking like this by myself right now, but y'all know years ago, I was doing this out of the dining room. So I had the youth coming out. But now, that was just planning things out. But I want my own studio production area. You get me? So we can do the couch on one side and flip it around and do the teen talk on the other side. Or just go from room to room. No, I might want to have everything in one room. Because I'm thinking about a round table for the teen talk show. And AI already told me when I get ready to do the journey to go over to like the colleges and go to their journalist apartment. I said, okay, I got you now. But see, for me, is I'm sharing, and I will get people who might have their own little broadcasting thing that they do. Because I did have this young lady reached out to me and I promoted her stuff. But the thing is, she was YT. So I don't know if somebody encouraged her not to continue. I don't know. I haven't reached back out to her. Because my thing is, if you see me producing something and you make me feel like you there, this is what you trying to get out like that, you're very, very welcome. But if you back up, I'm not going to chase behind you. I'm not. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. If you work with the youth and on Saturdays and Sundays, that's what I mainly talk about, then I need you to come and share what you're doing with your program. You can always bring somebody with you that's 18, 19, that will talk where the younger people that's listening in can feel comfortable. I'm older. So to a lot of them, I'm like, that's Pop. Pop. Big Unk. I already know all that. But they're welcome. That's what I want our youth to know. Mainly 13 on up. Somebody sent me something on LinkedIn where they work with them from 5 up to 12. And they know I do from 13 to 19. Uncle T, from what I see, I could be wrong, but I know most of his are in between, I think, 13, 19 too. They might be a little bit older. But now, it's other programs like mine. They work with them from 19 to 24. Y'all better start bringing your butt over here so people know. Okay, Alfonso, I done wrote your stuff down, the address and all that. Okay, Van Brooks, I done wrote your stuff down, your address and all that. The SAFE program. These are people I met years ago, family. I'm talking about brothers. In West and East Baltimore. This is my way of commercializing y'all. Y'all gonna pay me, dang it. No, y'all ain't gotta pay me. Just look, my thing is, Uncle T, I'm so freaking proud of Uncle T. God darn. Every time I turn around, I'm like, what is he doing? And a lot of people complain. We got a lot of stuff in Baltimore City now, chaos-wise. But y'all don't realize there's a lot of great things that's going on that if it was promoted more, it would outweigh the chaos and the confusion. It's so much greatness in Baltimore City. I'm watching Uncle T I'm watching Daddy Advocate. He's an advocate for fathers. Then Marcus, he's an advocate for fathers. Then we got Stefani up Emerson. These brothers are doing great and wonderful things in the community. Teaching, helping fathers to be more involved in their children's lives. It's a lot of great stuff. Now I'm just talking about the men. I ain't even hit the women yet. So I just want to say this, Baltimore City. I backed up off of Brandon Scott. I backed up off of like Westmore, right? Because once I realized be honest, they politicians. That's all they do is create laws. We come with the solutions to whatever laws they create. And helping our people from the grassroots level, you get me? Helping our people to be more obedient. Helping our young men, because we got to have programs and ways and means for them to like be healthy and benefit their lives, to avoid the juvenile system, to avoid once they turn 18, they going into the main prison. It starts young. And if you one of them parents that feel like, well, I can't get him to do nothing, he won't do nothing right, he won't do, that's why they have mentoring programs out there. And each time I come on, and it is almost 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna do this. I got 142 here. And it's TikTok. No, it's AI that told me to do this, family. Like to announce, they don't want me to announce too many, but at least to announce certain names, give y'all names. Now, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try to do it real quick because I got one. When I look back at it, I want to make sure my time frame is right so I can make a little clip of it. But this is I Am Mentality Youth Male Empowerment, right? Project. I Am Mentality Youth Male Empowerment Program Project. Their number is 410-702-8256. 410-702-8256. And their address is 1014 West 36th Street. And that's Baltimore, Maryland 21211. And this is for young men. And I think from what I've seen with these young men, some of them look like they're 19 and a little bit older. So this is Alfonso Mayo's program from what I understand. But they mentioned another name to me the other day. I'm not going to say it, but that might be his real name. You know how some people have certain names. But yeah, this is Baltimore City. And this is Alfonso Mayo with I Am Mentality Youth Male Empowerment Project. 410-702-8256. And if you have sons, probably daughters too, that needs that support, please reach out to them. I've been watching this young man for a while. I'm so proud of him. I tell him that all the time when I see his stuff on LinkedIn. I see him on LinkedIn. I haven't had the chance to meet him in person yet, but I've been knowing him for a while as far as the work and everything. Lisa Pierce is another one. I'm going to start getting her information because Lisa Pierce, if I'm not mistaken, has a workforce development program. So she teaches you. You want to get into nursing school. You want to get into cosmetology. You want to get into bricklaying. She works with a lot of warehouses, forklift drivers, and all that. So, and I got her number personally. That was the one that helped me. So I got to check back out with her to see if everything's still the same. And from time to time, I am going to announce these people. Okay. I want to see us grow, family. I want to see us grow. When I found out 3 years ago that a lot of our young kids, 10, 11, 12, were stealing cars, I said, oh my God, where the freak they get this from? Where's my belt? You know, I'm dead. And somebody said they learning it from like the games and stuff on TV. How they that young? How they know how to drive? To go out there. So I was looking at somebody older, you know, which I ain't putting it past it. Got them out there doing this stuff, taking these things, bringing it back to them so they can redo them. Watch my language, okay? Watch my language. I know how I was when I had the package, and they was younger. You know how it was. They don't get locked up. They take them in, but then they let them go. So that's where my mind went. I said, somebody older got them doing this, got them doing that. But then somebody told me, said a lot of them are learning, playing them games and stuff like that. So they learning how to drive at a young age. I said, okay. But I still brought me some leather belts. I ain't beat nobody with my leather belt in a while. I think I got a brown one too. I just say that right because I'm old school. You told Harpo to beat me? Yep. You told Harpo to beat me? Yep. And I'm going to say this right here before I end this. She's 27 now. She was about 10, between 10 and 12. And I went to whoop her butt with my belt. And she ran. Some kind of way we called the police or something, right? And I was telling the police I was getting ready to beat her with my belt. And he said, you know I could lock you up. I said, guess what? I'd rather whoop her tail than to have you take her down. He turned around and walked away. I know. Because y'all want our children to be bad. Y'all want our children to be destructive. So they can be part of y'all target practice. Oh, you thought Big Steve didn't know it? So y'all fixed it where the parents can't discipline them children. But guess what? When you got Big Steve stepping in, Big Steve gonna step in as a foster care parent to help you understand certain things. No, we aren't supposed to beat them like that. Not with a belt or anything. I'm talking about the children that you're working with. So it taught me a little better with mine. But the thing is, they teach you how to structure and discipline them. And I guarantee you the police don't know how. Because your goal is to take them down. Come on. I talk with a lot of y'all. Don't think I don't know polices. I can tell a lot of the seasoned ones compared to the new ones. Because the more seasoned ones are the ones, not all now, that's willing to work with for more and give them a chance and a chance and a chance. Officer friendly. What happened to him? Thank y'all. Thanks for y'all love, support. I was getting ready to end this a while back, right? Um, Post traumatic. Um, I'm familiar with it, right? And the whole goal, I understand how generation after generation, because we learn, it's like learned behaviors, old behaviors that was passed down through generation after generation. Everybody's not caught up in it, okay? Everybody's not caught up in that mental, emotional, spiritual bondage. Everybody is not caught up in it. Whenever my daughters or my son, or I feel like, if they need to talk and I hear certain things like, hey, Steve, how you doing, blah, 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 mainly my girls, because me and my girls talk a little bit deeper, you know, and I might ask them how you feel, what's going on, I'm all right. I'll be like, oh, no, you're not. I'm like, uh-oh, no, you're not. Is it the time of the month? No, not yet, but it's coming. Oh, okay, I did that. You get cramps or something. Not really, but I can feel them coming. Wait a minute, you ain't got to keep be picking with my girls, right? And it might not be that. I'm just using that as an example, right? But the goal is family, and my daughters will tell you, I don't always try to fix them. I try to listen. Because say like if it's a boyfriend, girlfriend thing, then I'll share. I go into that mother, daddy, old relationship stuff. But the thing what I'm saying, family, is to help them understand relationships take work. You know what I mean? And if you feel as though you with somebody and it's strenuous, weighing you down, you got the right to move on. You don't have to tolerate it. So it's listening, it's encouraging them, motivating them, just give them the message and help them understand I used to be there too. You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's not fixing them, it's listening, because whatever it is, they got to fix it. You can let them know and laugh at them. I remember I used to be there. It ain't funny. Oh, yeah, it's funny now because I ain't there no more. I'm over it. And you'll get over it too. And this is how I had to deal with people, because no matter what, family, whatever trials and tribulations come, we got to go through them. It's how you go through them. You get it? You can go through it fighting, yelling, screaming, blah, 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 or you could just go through it in peace. But you got to go through them. That's why I talk like I do, family, because when I sit back and I look at my life, I'm like, God dang, I done a lot. I done been through a lot. I done blah, 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 blah. And then when I look at where I'm at now, at 64 years old, where I'm able to look at my teens, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, 64, and I guarantee you any amount of money, I'm going through my 60s. I live to be 70 and moving on. I guarantee you I won't see life the way I do through my 60s. Now, on a spiritual note, is I pray that it be more spiritually inclined. You get me? Because I'm at a point now, family, though. A lot of stuff I used to do, I just don't care to do no more. And I hope I don't get 70 years old and decide I want to go back and act like I was 40. You get me? So I can only speak for where I'm at right now. Shoot, I might get to the point by the time I turn 70, man, I might be like 185, 191 now. Might be 185, handsome as all I do, feeling like I need to die this and energy level power, but off the hook. You think I'm messing with somebody close to my age? When my energy level is like yang, 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 she better be right there. Telling you, I don't know. I might be 70 going through male menopause. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking. Because you don't know. I can only tell you where I'm at now. A lot of the stuff I used to do, I don't do no more. A lot of stuff I used to do, it don't even feel right no more. So I can say I've been delivered. I can say I've been redeemed. And I can just thank God. that I'm older now. It's like I'm grown. You get me? So I love y'all, family. One thing I realized in life on top of this too, whenever I open up my mouth, whenever I open up my mouth, I don't know who need to hear what I gotta say. I'm gonna say this to y'all, Baltimore City. When I look at my analyst report, I'm proud of y'all. I'm gonna put it like that. I'm proud of y'all. Even though y'all might not push like a lot, or you might not comment a lot, but I know y'all watching. And a lot of y'all are starting to come on TikTok now. I feel like y'all invading my space. Let me stop. I'm just playing. Because I'll be like, oh, Dr. J over here. What? Come on. Y'all know I've been doing this with the talk show for years. For years and years. Doing the talk show. StreamYard. Streaming. I went from streaming. I even got a TV thing, Stream TV. But I couldn't merge. I was trying to merge the two together, where I could live stream and do television at the same time. On my Stream, I can do commercials and fix it where to run 24 hours, 7 days a week. But now, mind you, it takes that team. It takes a team to help me with that, because I'm learning little by little on my own. And that's your fault, Dr. J. I'm gonna blame this on you. Because you do every goddamn thing by yourself, because you've been doing it for years. Little Oprah Winfrey. Dr. Lady J. I be looking at you sometimes, Lady J. I'm like, how does she have time to do all that? And you be everywhere. Like, oh my God. You right here in Baltimore City. Next thing I know, you over in Hawaii somewhere. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? That's my baby. I had to pick with her. That's my baby. But I'll be looking at you, Dr. J. I'm like, Dr. J, like, ah. But she knows the ins and out of this. I'm really, really proud. Lady J, Yvette, Cherie Rogers. Y'all know I love y'all. Christina Flowers. You know I love you, baby. And the reason why I'm saying this, because they in their areas doing what they do in Baltimore City. And I'm in my area. If we meet up, we meet up. But they have a special way of doing things. And I had one. Lisa Molot. I worked with her. She worked with the when I say young adults, I'm talking about people from like 16, 17, 18. They're young adults. Even though they, youth, they are adults, but they're young. Catch what I'm saying? And I admire when I see, say, like a 13 or 14 or 15 or 16-year-old young girl, right? But I'm looking at the women embracing them. Then the young guys. And then I'm looking at Uncle T, and I'm trying to think of some of the other guys' names that I be seeing y'all with Uncle T. And Rodell and them. And I'm like, I love it. But because my 2 hours are up now, family. But Baltimore City, keep in mind, I've been reading a little bit about this other bull junk that's going on too. Don't let it discourage you. Those names that I mentioned, and I got a lot more names that I can tell y'all about programs in Baltimore City that's doing some great work. But y'all know the old saying, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. And that's the way it is. Because I'm telling y'all, I feel better about Baltimore City now compared to in 2017. We had 343 unalives in Baltimore City. I gotta say unalive for TikTok. Unalive for TikTok. For 2025, the year ended with 133. Now look at that. 2017, it was 343. We fought to get the spy plane here to help reduce a lot of this. It took them a few years to get it from 17 to 25. Way down under 200. I got mad because they let that plane go. But now when I look at it, understand this, it wasn't the police department by themselves. Okay? It was groups like We, Ours, Us. Even though Safe Street gets a bad name, Safe Street's done some great work too. Credit the ones that's not doing, the crazy stuff. You always got to spoil a bad apple in something. Lisa, I know what she do. I'm trying to get your name right, baby. Erica, I know what you do. Baltimore Peace Movement. I haven't seen you in a while. Hugs. Val. Hug. Don't pew pew. I used to mess that up. She would lean on my butt. No, it's such a... Kenny. Ebum. I love you, bro. You on TikTok. You're very welcome to come up and talk. Very welcome. BMore, divorce. It's a lot of them that's on here that know what I do in Baltimore City. And they call me Big A lot of them know that's on TikTok now with their own live streams. Do y'all know how they feel to be older and to watch other people building back up in the community now? Which they've been doing it, but it's just in my butt. Almost cursed. My ass a little bit dingo. It's like I ain't got that energy like I used to. Hey, Phyllis, I walked from the hospital today, right? And I stopped over at Hip Hop Chicken. Phyllis, Hip Hop. I ain't had no fried chicken and the fish and the fries. I started eating that walking the rest of the way home. Because y'all know I can't have stuff like that. A lot. You get it? I was determined. I said, because the hospital not that far, so I try to walk the stretch, right? So I'm walking over to Hip Hop. Got my chicken, fries. Started walking the rest of the way. Oh my God, my daggone live stream dropped over here. I forgot it ran low. Let me move it. But look, family, I am gonna get off here so I can make my recording. But look, man, I'm gonna tell y'all. I want to say this, Baltimore City. I've been a diabetic for 35 years. My A1C is well under 8. My doctor took me off the insulin, right? Now, the Ozempia and Trulicity, that helps the pancreas, so that helps your organs. Not, it helps it where it don't have to shoot out as much sugar or the protection, or I can't really get the words right for it, but I understand the importance of the Ozempia and the Trulicity to cure your appetite. That's why, for me, I don't eat 3 meals a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I will only eat between 3 and 4, and I normally take a walk so I can come back and do the lives. So it's around, most of the time, 4. I say 3 and 4, right? Because most of the time it's here, then walk, then back. So excuse me, it's like a ritual. That's what I'm trying to get to. Even if I might feel a little bit hungry before, I will make myself wait. And that's what I was telling my doctor. I tried to, since I wasn't able to afford the copay for my Trulicity, I try to maintain the same schedule. You get me? That I would take if I had that with the Trulicity in my body. I don't want to confuse y'all. But look, my sugar been going up. Guess what she said? She told me, in a way, don't even worry about it, because of where my A1C is at. She gonna put me on another medication to help balance out the metformin, because the metformin is doing its job. But now the reason why I'm saying this, family, because I'm looking at the organs. I told her, I said, sometimes if I think about something to eat, it's like, because I got this thing on my arm. I told her, if I think about something to eat, I said, this sucker go up. I said, I don't know what's going on. But now my body is adjusting itself, because it doesn't need all that other stuff to help fight like it used to. And then I lost weight. So I'm well under, I weigh 191. When she weighed me today, now mind you, I got my clothes on. It was 195. She said, "You all right with that?" I'm like, "Yeah," because when I step on my scale, before I get in the shower, I know that sucker say 191, and it's been saying, it said 187 at one point. But when I walk sometimes, and I got my weights on, and I got my stuff on, what tends to happen is turning into muscles. So I realized that the flag turning into muscles. See, I just want to trim up. I don't want to gain. You get it? And this is the smallest, y'all. And I looked at myself. Now I look big here, but when I look at myself going down, I'm like, it's like my clothes, my pants. I think they like 34s. It's like I'm starting to look big now. I'm like, I don't like this. I might have to get rid of all my pants and order me some more. Because I know if I go get them taken in, it's going to cost me just as much. If I would go buy me a double pair, I'm like, oh no, I don't like the way this. Like my swag. I'm like, uh, I don't know. And then look, I tucked the front of my shirt in. Now y'all see this like a t-shirt in my pants, you know, and y'all know that look a lot better. But then I was gonna put the whole t-shirt in. But then I don't know, I start thinking about, it's a more conservative look, but most older guys around my age, that's what they do. It's a more conservative look. But I figured I put the front in. And I was doing this, and I just shook it a little bit, so not to make it tight. So I like that. But I think I might have to change it up because I'm 64. And put my t-shirts in because I ain't like the way it was hanging out. Normally I like the way it hang out. I'm like, because I look so much smaller down the bottom. Just then I'm like, dang. So I might have to start ordering medium stuff now. I know I can't do extra large. I can do extra large, right? And if I'm not mistaken, my dress pants that I brought are 34s. And that's normally measured according to your waist. But down further, it's like I'm slimmer. And I see that sucker, I be like, Steve, you getting skinny. I ain't trying to get real skinny. But I'm just saying this, right? Just to be proud in a sense. Look at my face. I've never been this small in my life. I think when I was like 12 or 13, I wore like 140 something pounds. Always been big. This is the smallest. And it's a good feeling. Because look at the years being a diabetic. I used to weigh over 300 pounds. I know the highest was at least 325. It might have been more, but I'm just talking about during that time when it was 325. And I think I was in the process of losing that. I was a big dude. I'm 6'1". I'm proud of this old dude. And I want to say thank y'all. Because this is like a form of encouragement for me. This is my way of talking to people now. And to be honest, I really don't care to be around a crowd like I used to. I never did. I will come out, do what I got to do, and I'm gone. This is like me being at a protest or me being at a rally. This is my way of using my voice to help encourage, empower, and motivate us. And if you see me getting loud, would y'all like to give me bad names? That's my passion. Y'all might call it my ego, my pride, or he this, or he that. Do y'all know how hard it is sometimes? That takes a lot to stand firm and try not to sway on what you believe and what you're doing. Because so many of us will sway towards bull crap that we know. Mainly when people ain't doing what they're supposed to do. And praise them for their lies and manipulations towards the people. That's what bothers me. But then, if I'm not careful, they make me out to be the monster. I learned a long time ago. No harm to us, period. Because when I open up my mouth, I know it's a lot of our elected officials that's listening to me. Rather they are Democrats, rather they are Republicans, or rather they are a part of the Green Party, the Tea Party, because this other political trying to think of what it's actually called, rather than me saying programs. Keith, I've been seeing a little bit more of your stuff. about the Black Party, trying to pull together with Dr. Newsom some stuff where, we can come up with our own party. But keep in mind, and I'm going to keep in mind, I'd rather stay in the area of solutions and building, rehabbing, motivating the people that need our help the most is our inner city poor community. The ones that do not vote as much. This is what I learned. When I was working with Kimberly Klasick and them, they would come into the Black community and they would tell people, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that if I get in, if you vote me in, if you do this. And once I realized they talking a good game, but their actions is not there. I had a few people call me and ask me to walk them through the community because they know that's where I'm at. And the reason why they asked me to walk them to the community, because they wanted people to see us together so they can make them fake promises. Ooh, no, I did not say that. And I said no. Because that's what I realized. In the inner city, even though, and I watch what you put out, Keith, a lot of the Black people don't vote in the inner city because nobody's teaching them about voting and basically who to vote for. But not just saying that, guiding them to the right programs that can help them prosper in life. That's why a lot of your inner city is not voting, because they disappointed on top of that. So guess what? It's more your outer skirts people that's voting. We had it mapped out for Kimberly Klasick when Kimberly Klasick was running for Congress. In which areas that vote the most and which ones don't. In your inner city, communities don't vote that much because they don't know who to vote for. They don't know or they don't understand anything about voting. That's why with Communities United, they would have classes to teach people on understanding and why they need to vote for this individual right here. Because this individual is actually going to get in there. They're going to voice themselves to fight for your rights. And sometimes the vote might not get through to favor you. But whatever laws they pass, it's your organizations that's on the ground, like Strengthen the Community, like the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. That's why I wait. To see which bills they pass. If it's going to prosper the people, we come up with plans, ideas, solutions to help them benefit from it. If it's going to destroy them, we come up with ways, means, and plans, solutions, and helping them to be obedient towards whatever bills they create, whatever laws they create. Because anytime you break the laws, criminal wise, you go to prison. Okay? Baltimore City, the 10 Commandments, right? They the laws. The 5 books of Moses is the breakdown of the laws. But because it's religiously based, you know they say it's not connected, right? Because when it comes to the laws, it's the freedom to choose from that human being standpoint. The laws fix where you have that right to choose. So it's not to take, this is what I was looking up on. They are the laws of the lands, no matter how you put it, how you should live your life. If you know a man is married and you sleeping with that man's wife, you breaking the law. Then you disrespecting him. 9 times out of 10, what are you gonna do? Then if you turn around and you sleep with one of his daughters or his son, this your neighbor. They got laws to condemn you for that too, right? But they tell you they don't come from scripture. Because it's not to apply it in that sense, right? I said, these are the laws, no matter how you put it. But they tried to separate the two. I hope I didn't lose nobody. That's why when you do the things people like myself do, you want to make sense out of stuff that really typically don't make sense. You want to keep it as simple as possible. And that's what I do. I try to just break it down with some people because of their knowledge and wisdom, and they might not be on that simple plantation of keeping it real and plain. And what I'm thinking about, we have a tendency, if we're not careful, we will rationalize and justify the most outrageous thing because it might not make sense to this. And certain things that don't make sense and it's not plain, I leave it alone. And that's what I had to learn over the years. That's what I had to learn. So I love y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Thank y'all. It's 8:32. I'm finished eating the rest of my hip hop, hip hop, bobbity bop 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 bop. Because I know I ain't gonna get it no time soon. If I do buy it again, it's gonna be probably next month or the month after that. Because I try not to, eat like I used to, real simple. Or if you do eat, this what I realized, you just can't have as much. You got to measure out everything as a diabetic. Because we eat now. Don't think we don't. You just got to measure your stuff. And that's what I was telling the doctor. You know, you got to measure your food out. And that's the way I was taught. And, even from the hospital and stuff like that, the amount of food that they would give me, I just try to remember the amount that I can put on my plate to eat at that time. And then I said on top of that, because of me starting to fast around 8, because it's 4 to 5 hours later, if you calculate it could be 9 or something like that, I have to go and grab something. It said even if it's just a piece of cheese to put in me. Just as simple. Because the goal is to stop it from dropping. And that's what we was talking about. All right, love y'all, family, and Big Steve. Girl.